Hi everyone, and thank you Les for that amazing introduction. First of all, it is pronounced Maastricht University. I'm very excited about it. So many of us are here because Centre College made us an offer we could not refuse. In other words, a really good scholarship offer at a wonderful, minuscule liberal arts college. I'm from Kentucky, so I've always known about Centre, or the Harvard of the South, as some of us like to call it. Some of my peers, however, have never heard of Centre before applying. Some of my friends made the journey to Danville thinking it would be a burgeoning metropolis. Some came thinking Lexington was just a stone's throw away. And some came expecting horses to be walking around campus and bourbon to be flowing out of the taps. And yet, here we all are, in the same place, with a shared education under our belts, and with 4 years of our lives that we will always have in common. The first sentence on Centre's Wikipedia page is, Centre College is a private liberal arts college in Danville, Kentucky. A bit basic, isn't it? So today, I want to try and further define Centre and why I am so grateful for my experience here. Let's talk about liberal arts college. What does that mean? In my opinion, it's learning how to think rather than what to think. It's exploring diverse disciplines. It's caring more about the journey than the destination. A liberal arts college is, pardon my metaphor, like a buffet. When I go to a buffet, I like to have a little bit of everything. A bite of potato salad, a morsel of psychology with an 8 a.m. lab, a piece of fried chicken, a helping of computer science, a slice of apple pie, a sliver of creative writing. Centre embodies this. It's a little bit of everything. It's both small and big, both competitive and collaborative, demanding and liberating, old and new. Let's start with this. Centre is small. With only 1,400 students, it is smaller than my high school was. We know the people we pass on the way to class. Professors remember our names and even invite us to bonfires at their homes. Our idea of a weekend trip is a journey to Kroger and maybe TJ Maxx if we're feeling frisky. My cohort of 9 Lincoln Scholars quickly became a little family. The quaintness of Centre, Danville, and my scholarship make me feel right at home in this tight-knit community. But Centre is also enormous. The Centre Mafia is real. I've personally encountered this notorious syndicate on several occasions. I emailed council member and Centre alum, Shayla Lynch, out of nowhere last summer, and she enthusiastically gave me an internship and a pile of work. Now she's become a mentor to me, and I've learned so much from her about writing, law, and advocacy. And Centre is not only the little town of Danville, it has taken me all over the world. I worked in a medical clinic in Costa Rica. I worked at the U.S. Trade and Development Agency in DC. I lived right beside the British Museum in London for a whole semester, which was awesome. I discovered my love for competition economics with Dr. Petkis in Austria, where we did some hands-on economic analysis in the form of going to all of the ice cream shops in the city and figuring out how they compete with each other. And I brought Centre to all of these places too. I came prepared to talk about the Kentucky Triad, fried chicken, horses, and bourbon. And I left with new friends, new passions, and even new nicknames. Centre's campus traverses the globe. Next, Centre is competitive. We all want to be the best. We set our sights on fellowships, study abroad programs, research opportunities, or even just the last Brock. I experienced this on steroids in the Lincoln Scholars Program, where someone is always doing something amazing. Every other week, I get an email from Dr. Robert Shalkoff, our scholarship director, with the subject line, Lincoln in the news, and an unquantifiable amount of exclamation points. We just got one this morning. Congrats, Vale. Being surrounded by all of these change makers is a lot of pressure, but I'm competitive too. You don't want to play Monopoly with me, it will go on for hours. And seeing my peers be successful makes me want to be successful too. They are tough competition. They push me. They inspire me. But more importantly, being at Center is like being part of a team. I'm naturally a lone wolf. I do not easily ask for help. As the editor of the Cento, I wanted to install a newspaper stand in the library. This thing was as tall as me, granted not very tall, but for me it was tall, and I think it weighed 200 pounds, or at least that's what it felt like. I tried to carry it all the way from my dorm to the library all by myself. As I trudged with my load, panting and gasping, like Atlas holding up the world, my fellow cohort members, one by one, seemed to appear as if by miracle, and each offered me a helping hand. This unbearable weight became light. And this story sounds too good to be true, but I submit to you this evidence. This stand still sits in the library today, and I think of my cohort every time I pass by it, and it's filled with Centos right now, by the way. I can confidently say my peers have probably had similar experiences, but maybe instead of a newspaper stand, it was a massive exam, or maybe instead of cohort members, it was their sorority sisters. From my friends at Center, I've learned that asking for help is actually a strength. It's nice to be part of a pack. Next, Center is demanding. For an education that's liberal, there sure are a lot of requirements. I found myself, an economics major, learning how to speak Chinese, how to code in Python, how to quilt, how to write a song. These classes challenged me, pushed me to my limit. I pulled some serious all-nighters. If you heard mediocre singing in the basement of Cheek at 4 in the morning, that wasn't a ghost, that was me. But Center is also liberating. Yes, I was required to take some of these classes, but that gave me the freedom to fail. I begged Dr. Link to let me join his songwriting class, and I found myself surrounded by experienced, talented musicians. I was a freshman whose knowledge of the piano consisted of every good boy does fine. This was one of the first times that I had no idea what I was doing in a class. What was I thinking? I was terrified, lost. I was humbled. And then I realized I could do anything. I'd always been motivated by others' expectations of me. Us Center students run on academic validation, but when there are no expectations, not only is the sky the limit, there is no floor. I got creative. I did whatever I wanted, and in 1 month I wrote 5 songs. They were unique, for sure. Maybe they won't be on the Billboard 100 anytime soon, but I'm proud of them. I learned it's okay to flounder as I explore uncharted territory, and it's actually kind of fun. Center is old. We beat Harvard in football 100 years ago. C6HO, John Marshall Harlan, the great dissenter, Plessy v. Ferguson, separate but equal cannot exist, is an alum. Abe Lincoln's friend went here. Old Center is the oldest academic building west of the Alleghenies. Breck is haunted. But Center is also new. We are making our own history right now. Even though the Cento was founded in 1889, the Cento we have today is completely different. When I came to Center 4 years ago, no one knew about the Cento. It had gone extinct, faded into obscurity. If I told people I was part of the Cento, I was met with blank stares. Oh, it's a newspaper, I would explain, their eyebrows raised. What? Center has a newspaper? We built the Cento back up from scratch, me and our mighty team of writers and editors. We poured ourselves into it, our time, our thoughts, our hearts. We didn't have funding. I remember going to one of SGA's meetings and begging for money. Thank you, SGA, for giving us money. Please give us more money. We started with a blank slate, and we sat down and created our vision of our Cento. No template, no limits. We could invent the Cento to be anything that we could dream of. That was in 2023. Now, people know the Cento. We're once again an integral part of Center. I love seeing people carrying the latest print issues all over campus, filling out the crossword, unfolding and reading their papers like 1950s businessmen. I thought we were unique in resurrecting the Cento, But I discovered in Center's 1967 yearbook a photo of then editor-in-chief captioned, "Sylvia Clark restored stability to the Cento after Mark Harris failed in his attempt to make the paper an effective organ of campus communication." First of all, I thought, damn, they really called him out like that. Then I thought, wow, as old as Center, the Cento, and all of our institutions are, we are always shifting and changing, sometimes failing, sometimes succeeding. We all have dark ages and renaissances. Center has been so special to me because I've had the opportunity to make something new out of the old, or something old out of the new. Let's return to my buffet metaphor. In my time at Center, I've had a little bit of everything. Some comfort foods, some acquired tastes, some things I want to get the recipe for. Small, big, competitive, collaborative, demanding, liberating, old, new. Center is a little bit of everything, indeed, and it's a lot of fun. Through my attempt to define Center, I've come to define how deeply grateful I am for my time here. I am here because of the Lincoln Scholars Program. I am here because Dr. Robert Shalkoff is extremely convincing, a force of nature, and he always believes in me. I am here because my parents always have very high expectations. They inspire me to always be better, and they are unendingly supportive. My time here has been precious because my cohort made me feel like part of a family, because Dr. Peckus got me excited to argue about economics, because my roommate, Mary, always finds a way to make me laugh, even when I'm crashing out, which is really often, and because the people at the Cento and Vantage Point put as much love into writing and creating as I do. We came to Center College feeling like this college already believed in us. You, donors, committees, professors, leaders, you believed in us and you made an investment in us, as we did with you when we chose to come to Center. And in econ speak, I think we're seeing an enormous return on investment. When you start something with someone who believes in you from the beginning, anything feels possible and everything feels necessary. Thank you to the donors of the Lincoln Scholarship and to the hundreds of other donors who provide life-changing scholarships for Center students. Thank you for a buffet of experiences, for friends that last a lifetime, for courses that challenge and inspire, for opportunities to learn who we are and who we want to become, and for the gift of a Center education. Abraham Lincoln's words are engraved on his statue. I'm a success today because I had a friend who believed in me, and I didn't have the heart to let him down. So, thank you for believing in us. Thank you for giving us this precious time at Center. We won't let you down. And Andrew,